Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go. 3-19.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, he shifts past him. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Detroit! Detroit! Now let's go! Blue Lightning!
Looking to throw on second down. Leach. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Off-play action. Leach. Now he's going to let it go deep. Back over the... And that's caught inside the 30. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. A big play there for the Broncos on 3rd. 58 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Green 39! Green 39!
And they'll run it here. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
But, oh, has that changed in a big way? The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain.
He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Looking to throw. Leach, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And they didn't wait long to take a shot there, that's for sure. But it falls incomplete, and it's second down. He was looking for Tyreek Hill that time. And now it's second down. And once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Set. Blue line it. Blue line it. Hot.
Now they try the right side here. Room here to run. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football overtime, when you do it consistently, usually.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. And this is no good. He missed it. Not a good start here in the kicking department as this remains a 6-3 score. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Broncos on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw. Leach. Oh, he's got him in wide open, complete. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Looking to throw. Leach. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Chris Jones in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on third down following 2 negative plays.
Gone!
From From the gun, Leach. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets it down to the 32. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will tie things up at 6-6. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2. Got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim. And hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And on the ground they go with a running back. And nothing but daylight ahead. 30, 10, and all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A great play there. 77 yards. And the Chiefs strike quickly here for 6 points. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
And Denver getting set to take the field. They've been settling quite a bit. They've been able to move the football some, but they've just been settling. That's one of the reasons they're down on the scoreboard.
I love that word you picked, settling, because nowadays in this NFL, you're thinking touchdown almost every drive because everything's so high-powered. Yeah, you'll take the field goal, but you always feel like you're leaving points out there when you don't put it in the end zone.
They'll be trying to put it in the end zone here on this drive. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos 1st down. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a 1st down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Detroit! Watch it now, Barney! Back 99 Philly, here we go! All right, now, lucky 56! Lucky 56!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Leach. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Chris Jones able to disrupt yet another pass play, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good, and that'll bring him back within 4. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, That's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On 1st and 10, LeBlanc. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Back to throw. LeBlanc. He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught by Hill for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for a defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way.
Looking for Hearns, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there and...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson, and he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Looking and finding Allen Hearns. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. This quarterback now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Leach. And the Chiefs are going to get him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Operating from the gun. Leach. Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Gun!
Throwing on 3rd and long. Leach. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go. Now a hit and a loose football. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
I remember sitting in special teams meetings, and at some point during the meeting, the coach would always say, you better treat this one just like you're playing offense. Or defense is a big part of the game, and we just saw evidence of why right there with that fumble.
Yeah, fumble on the punt, and after it was turning up to be a pretty decent return.
Yeah, a really nice return. They were going to be set up okay, and the offense would feel good running onto the field. And now the defense has it.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. The 20. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule, where they're looking for a nap.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether it's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Now, we had the fumble last week. Now, here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of the play. And maybe...
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Chiefs are able to grow their lead.
This is similar to baseball where you walk the leadoff hitter and you don't expect him to come around and score. Almost impossible. Anytime a defense has to defend a short field, you usually end up seeing the result we saw, giving up points.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And coming out now, the Broncos. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
No gain on the play there. Second down. To throw on second down. Leach, a hit as he throws there, incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and I think the Chiefs have it. They do. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got it.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A great play there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Chiefs just continue to pour it on. And this part of the game's been an adventure thus far, but this one is good. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, Did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused.
Must have.
It had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
Watch you now, Barney! Barney!
Off the play fake. Leach. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, second and 10. Off play action. Leach forced out to his left. He finds Hearns left side. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Officially a minute 54 to go in this first half. Back to Denver right after this.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game, because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Looking to throw on second down. Leach. And he fires one incomplete. He was looking to get it to Allen Hearns that time. And now it's third down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only in the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop, a man down on the return. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. Attempting now to break his own NFL record. This from 65 yards away. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
And they'll go on the ground. Twisting away. Oh, and now he bowls him over. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a third down and 4 now. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On third down, it's Daniels. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Throwing to start the drive. Leach, he's going to air one out. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. 35 seconds, all that remains in the first half as they come up on first down. And they'll run it here. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And that is not going to get there. Oh, he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's a second missed field goal here in this first half. He'll have to think about that going forward. Maybe time for a little soul-searching as well.
Yeah, the head coach might be looking towards the heavens because you wonder if this will affect the fourth down decision-making going forward. If you get 4th and 3, 4th and 4, situations that used to be calls for the kicker might get a second thought.
Now let's go. Green, 39. Green.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. An update from around the league as our first one comes from New Orleans. And it's an early lead there for the Saints. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
On third down, it's Daniels. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
No. Check. Patriot! Patriot!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Leopard! Leopard!
Here's the backup now, the former Badger, Melvin Gordon. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Back to throw. LeBlanc. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. From the gun, Leach. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And out across midfield, down to the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Leach. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Chris Jones in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Here's Marquette King now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
And some room to maneuver. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. Past the 20. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A big play there. 82 yards. And the Chiefs have got it on cruise control. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over. The back line of the end zone for a touchback. So the Broncos coming out now. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off around the 37, and his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down, told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up, I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. On second down, they'll run with Gordon. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. The Chiefs on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Now the handoff comes to Gordon. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
Following the penalty, here's Gordon. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to make it 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash, this from 53. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. But hang on, a flag is down. Now, if it's on the defense, they might decline it and take the points. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional.
And the defense loses him. It's complete. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. It's a big play there for the Broncos. 63 yards. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. On 1st down, Leach. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Welcome back now to Denver. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Operating from the gun, Leach. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Leach, he'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. So out comes the field goal team once more. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability. Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score. And now here comes Kansas City. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter? Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says? What? Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games. Room to run past midfield, and he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time. When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the 4th quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football. Now a handoff. This is Gordon. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home. On 3rd down, this is Melvin Gordon. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive. They'll take it. Just, I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, and time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there. Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. To throw on 2nd down, Leach. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 23 yards on the play. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Leach. And the Chiefs are going to get him. That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language. Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start. Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Leach being chased out left. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Over the middle, it's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 24 yards. So the ball moves from 138 to the other as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Leach. Hitter here, it's complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard. Looking to throw. Leach steps away to his left. His throw caught right around the 6. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. That one goes for 24 yards. 3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
From the gun, Leach. This will be caught at about the 5. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal. Now they got to get to the line quickly.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
And not only will he not get the few inches he needs, he's going to go backwards.
I get the thought process. 3rd and short, give it to the fullback, let him bulldoze his way, but that means you're counting on your offensive line to win the line of scrimmage, aren't you?
Yeah, and there was just a mass of bodies there at the line. Looked like more defenders than offensive guys. Winds up losing yardage. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the ball's going to be going back to the Chiefs. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to be taken down here at about the 10. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Chiefs, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.